It's C-Duck again is brought to you by Hackensack Brewing Company and their Imperial Pilsner Auga, which was created in honor of the legendary DJs The Awesome Two. Thick Crates, pure hip-hop satisfaction. Check out their limited edition new releases available now on Instagram. Weaponized Records, an independent music label serving up underground hip-hop. The revolution will not be televised. It will be weaponized. And the Spit Slam Record Label Group. The Spit Slam Record Label Group, a Chuck D situation. Catch us on your favorite streaming platform, on Bandcamp, or visit our official web store at spitslamrecords.com. All releases are available digitally or on CD, with select titles available on vinyl and cassette. The Spit Slam Record Label Group. Throwback to the future sound.
It's C-Doc again.
Well, friends. Hello. It is Tuesday night, and we are here as usual. Hope everyone is doing well tonight. Welcome to another episode of C-Doc again. I'm your host. It's C-Doc. Yeah. All right. Anyway, yes, got an interesting show tonight. Gonna take it back into time, as it were. And we're going to talk about one of the most famous break beats in hip hop history, and try to get a little bit of insight into that. But first, got to introduce the crew. First up, she got her start at the very first. A lot of firsts here going on. The very first 24-hour hip hop station, talking about KDAY in LA. Our lady from the heyday of KDA, Jennifer. Oh, Jenny.
Settle down there, Teddy Riley.
I will get the I'll get the intro one of these days. You know, it's only we're only 193 episodes in. I'll get it right one day. You know. Okay. Hey, I just watched a clip of an interview with Teddy Riley last night. So funny you mentioned that. Right?
Right?
Yeah. Exactly.
He's interesting when you can catch him.
Exactly. Yes. Yes, he is. Love the stat shirt, Jen. Yeah.
There you go.
The original hip hop band.
There you go.
Yep. Also joining us tonight, hailing from New Jerusalem. He's got the dopest account on Instagram. If you don't follow him, you are truly a sucker. Ladies and gentlemen, Ultramax 7.
What's up, y'all? I too have watched clips of interviews with Teddy Riley in the last 24 hours.
The Vlad one?
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah, so the whole Michael Jackson thing, and very interesting. Very interesting.
I watched the clip before you got into working with Mike, so I gotta watch the part about Mike now.
Anything with Michael Jackson I want to hear about. So
yeah. So, very, very cool. Very cool, interesting stuff.
The algorithm's working.
The algorithm's working. That's right.
Except when it takes me to McDonald's in Philippines. That came across my Instagram feed today. I'm like,
okay, but there's something going on because my whatever algorithm was going absolutely batshit crazy yesterday.
Really?
I was watching the weirdest crap.
All right.
Sitting here in the middle of the night cracking myself up. Nobody there with, but I was like, I don't know what's happening.
All right.
Well, yeah. Okay. Well,
something's happening.
Something's happening. I don't know what, but whatever. Guess it's not for us to know.
Right.
You know? All right. Well, our guest is here tonight, and it's not the usual. It's not our usual Steves, but that's okay. We have tonight the daughter of Roy C Hammond, aka Roy C. He was a record producer, a songwriter, a label owner, a record store owner, and a drummer. And he played one of the most famous hip hop breaks of all time. Talking about the Impeach the President break by the Honey Drippers. And his daughter, Sabrina Williams, is with us tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the show, Sabrina Williams.
Hi.
Hey.
Hello, Sabrina.
Hi. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here. But we don't usually get to talk to the early architects, as it were, or people related to the early architects. So this is kind of cool. This is different for us.
Yes, thanks for having me, guys. I appreciate it.
Yeah. So can we talk about your father wore a lot of hats. What are your memories of growing up around that?
Oh man, yeah, my dad. whew, he was a jack of all trades. So there was nothing that my father couldn't do. And when I mean nothing, I mean nothing. Like to this day, my husband probably is still sick of me because whenever he tries to do something, I'll be like, "Well, my daddy could have done it," and he'd be like, "I know he's sick of me." So, like, it was. I mean, it was always fun just growing up in our house. Like he would, I think I got into music really young,
Mhm.
from just playing instruments. I used to play the flute, so I learned how to play the flute. He tried to have me play the violin. That didn't work out too well. I wasn't a violin player. But the flute I took to. Being in marching band, I was, drum major in the band. Loved music all my life. Um, and just being with my father, he made your childhood just the best that it could possibly be. So just when I think about it was funny because I did not know what my dad did until, I was really older. I knew my dad was a
Okay.
singer, but I didn't know that he was Roy C. Like there's a
Mm.
difference between Roy C and Roy Hammond. And I
Right.
just I never knew what, the difference was. Yeah, I heard some of his music. He would selection out what I could hear. So like one song was I Wish You Bad Luck, one of my favorite songs growing up, and I thought it was just always funny. And Funky Funk Part 2. A lot of people don't, that wasn't always like a mainstream song,
Yeah.
but Funky Funk Part 2, I used to love the beat in that. So we would dance around the house, listen to that. I Wish You Bad Luck, we would listen to. So those were like two of the main songs I was listening to growing up. When we moved to South Carolina, in Allendale, everybody in Allendale knew Saved by the Bell. That's when I was
Wow.
introduced to Saved by the Bell. And I remember I came home one day and I was like, "So, Dad, heard this song, then Saved by the Bell." He's like, "Where you hear that from?" And I was like, "Heard it at school. Like all the kids were picking on me about it." He's like, "Okay." And so I'm like, "All right." But just being with my dad was, I I mean, I can't even explain it. Like it was, there was nothing that I ever missed growing up, even with him being on the road. Like my dad was on the road like every weekend. He was traveling, he was
Okay.
touring, he was doing this. And then we lived in New York. Um, up until I was like 10 years old. And then we moved to South Carolina and I was like, we want to get out of New York. Prices were going up. Him having the label there and everything, he was like, we can go down south. It's gonna be a lot cheaper. And he was ready to get out of the city. I was not ready to get out of the city, but him and my mother were ready to get out of the city. So I'm like, okay. So we moved down there and it was it was never like, okay, he's gone for a week or so on the road. He would even when its cell phones come about, I can't remember, but let's just say the
Yeah.
pay phones and everything else before there was an iPhone and everything.
Right.
My father made it to the fact where he would leave the house when we lived in New York. We lived on Jamaica Ave. He would leave the house. By the time he got to Liberty Park, he was at the payphone calling back because he knew that I was at the bottom of the stairs crying my eyes out because daddy just left for a weekend. So he would call on the payphone and they used to he used to call me Booger. That was my nickname. He would call, "Let me speak to Booger real quick." And he was like, "I'm coming home. I'll be back soon." And he would either turn around and come back if I would not stop crying. He would turn around, come back to give me another hug, and then, he would leave and, go on tour for, a week or so, whatever. He'd be right back home. We had, he bought two Nintendos, one so he could leave at the house, the other one that he could take on the road with him and play with me while he was on the phone. So we just sit there and play Nintendo on the phone
Oh.
together. So it was like, and it wasn't, we didn't have Xbox Live then, but we were
Right.
just, playing on the phone. And my mother would be like, y'all need to get off the phone now. She's got to go to bed. It's time for her to go to school in the morning. But I mean, it was amazing. My parents, they especially my dad, he was big on education. One thing my father was big on was education. Either you're gonna get your schoolwork and you're also gonna learn your history. Because they're not gonna teach you everything in school. So you need to know you need to learn your history outside of school.
Yeah.
My father, he was a big activist. The activist was through his music. So when you listen to his music, it wasn't just about making the songs, it was also about educating as well. So he taught me that as well too. And as I grew up, that's what I always did. I am nowhere near close to being a singer like my father. I tried once. I'll never forget. I was going to school. He was taking me to school. I was like 8 years old. I tried to sing. My father told me then, stay in school. I said, wow, you just literally crushed whatever dream I had. I'm just telling you, stay in school. Thanks, Dad. No problem. But hey, my son, he kind of sings like his grandpa. So I said, okay, maybe this skipped the generation. I don't know, but you'll get it one day. But yeah, I said, okay, I'm gonna stay in school. And I picked up that activism part from him.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's always just so much fun with my father.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So
before you say
go ahead.
anything, I
Yeah.
just have to say one thing. Sabrina, you never know who your dad is until it's too late. Until
Yeah.
he's gone.
Mm-hmm.
And then you realize, oh shit, because your entire life, he's who? He's dad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You don't see him as anybody other than that's just dad.
Yeah.
And
And
then
that's how
all
I
of a
saw him.
sudden, yeah.
It was just Dad. I went to I went to his first show. I was 18, 19. Finally got to go to one of his shows. I said, all right. My mother said, okay, you can go to the show. I was like, okay. Me, my mother, and my best friend went to his show in Charleston, South Carolina. Never forget. And we get there, and I'm so excited, and I'm walking down, and I'm like, that's my daddy, that's my daddy. My mother pinches me. If you ever been pinched in your life, you know that's almost like PTSD. And I'm like, what are you pinching me for? And she's like, stop, be quiet. So we get there, we're in the audience, and my dad comes out on stage, and he's like, he comes out to rock me. That was my father's intro, rock me. And he tells everybody, he's like, y'all got y'all ticket, and me being me, yeah, I got my ticket. I'm jumping up and down. And my father reaches down and grabs his private and says, I got my ticket. And my whole face dropped. And I was like, and my best friend just died laughing. And she said, the look on your face looked like there was no Santa Claus. I was like, this is what you do? This is Roy C? And after that, I was just done. And he looked at me. He said, yeah, you can't come back to my shows. I said, oh, I'm coming. Because the shows that mommy not at, I'm telling.
Wow.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. That's when I realized there was a difference between Roy C and Roy Hammond. They're two different people.
Yeah. Oh man. So he owned a record store?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just found that out today. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, we opened up the record store in Allendale. We called it CRD and CRD, and so which was short for Carolina Record Distributors. So we had our record store there, so he could sell out of the store. His office and everything was also in the back, and we just kind of made it that way once we moved down south.
Gotcha.
Wow.
Okay.
Because my father distributed his own music.
Right.
Yeah, so he had his own distribution company, his own label. He wanted to do everything himself, keep it under his name, and not have to, rely on everybody else to do it.
Yeah. So you grew up around that part of it too?
Mm-hmm.
Did you work for your dad there at the label or at the shop?
I did. He fired me like 2 or 3 times. Yeah, he fired me like 2 or 3 times, and he would send me back home, and he said, all right, it's time to go back home to your mama. And I'm like, okay, you got my allowance when you get home? And he'd be like, go ahead, go home, booger. So as I grew up a little, as I got into my teenage years, I finally started working a little bit better and really learning the business more. So yeah, I did. He taught me everything. So yeah,
Wow,
that's how I was able to learn it. Once he passed, I was able to really step into it and go from there.
Yeah. Gotcha. Yes, well, that's a good segue into, I was going to ask it later, but what have you learned from managing your father's catalog and how was that transition? How was going from, taking over everything?
It was definitely, I won't say it was rough, but it was a lot. I will say it was a lot from having, my father always, being in charge of it to
Yeah.
now being solely me. Me and my mom really being in charge of it now. It was a big responsibility because my father left such a huge legacy that it's like, okay, I have to live up to that and I have to keep his name, keep his legacy alive. But knowing the ins and outs of the business made it a lot easier. So being able to know where you know where catalogs were, where money is, where do I go for royalties, where this and that is, that was a lot easier to manage because he had already taught me that. Because the
Right.
one thing I tell you about the music industry is that if somebody can take advantage of you, they will.
Oh,
And you
yeah.
have to know these things because if not, they will rob you blind in a heartbeat. So being able to know
Mhm.
that, I was definitely able to segue into it and make my name into it. And once I got in, with people would try to be like, hey, well, you can do this. Nah, I'm not. I already know this part of the game, so I'm gonna do it this way. I'm gonna do it that way. No, we're not doing this. Or, if you want to, oh, we can buy your, we can buy your catalog. No, I'm not. I'm not gonna buy a thing. My father put it under. He made his music under his name, under his
Yeah.
catalog for his reason, and that's how we're gonna keep it.
Yeah. What did your dad think about the changing times, like going from the formats from, because he started, pressing records originally, and
Hmm.
then, and then we went to tapes, and then we went to CDs, and then we went to digital and streaming and all this stuff over the years. I mean, what what did he think of all the shifting terrain as it went?
He still pressed CDs up until he died. So he was
Okay.
still selling CDs because with his base, with the more mature crowd, they were still buying CDs. So they're
Yeah.
still gonna buy CDs. And even now, like Gen Z, they're buying CDs again. Like CDs
Yeah.
are coming back in. Vinyl, honestly, vinyl never really left, but now it's starting to pick back up again.
Right.
8 tracks are just gone. They ain't never coming back.
Right.
So
Right.
8 tracks and probably cassette tapes. They ain't never coming back. But
Cassette tapes a little bit. A little
you
bit.
think
Yeah.
so? They
Yeah,
are?
Yeah.
because we've been making them and selling them. So yeah,
Oh man. I
I
can't go
know.
back to cassette tapes because me trying to wind that
Brand new.
really? Oh man, yeah. Woo. Yeah, I can't wind that back up again.
You're right. Because
Yeah, no,
people don't know the struggle, man. Unless you grew up with it, they don't know.
the pencil and oh god, if you
Yep.
got caught, yeah, that was a
Oh,
lot.
Yep.
Yeah,
yeah.
that was a lot.
The tape
Now
broke, and I sit there at the desk with get a little piece of tape and cutting the scissors and like trying to fix. Oh man, yeah,
oh man.
Yes.
Whew, the struggle
yeah.
was real.
Struggle was real. Seriously. So
Yeah, he was he was okay with it. Well, digital he struggled in. He just
yeah,
didn't understand that world. So then that's when I came in to really help him with that on, okay, this is how you get stuff on, Apple Music, on the YouTube, onto this and that. And he'd always be like, well, what's the Facebook? The Facebook.
That's how old folks do it. That's how they
yep,
do it.
The Facebook. I'm like, no, it's just Facebook. Like,
Yeah.
so I even helped set him up a Facebook page. And Lord, when he figured that one out, he just went to town on Facebook. So I would be like, all right, Danny, you're gonna get banned. So slow down. But yeah, but once everything went digital, then I was able to help set him up into the digital world. So he relied on me for the internet. He was like, you handle your world, I'll handle my world. I was like, all right,
Mhm.
well, we'll make this work. And that's how we
gotcha.
did it. Hmm.
Okay, so we gotta ask, how did the Honey Drippers come together?
The Honey Drippers was, and he told me this story like a million times, and I always ask him like, "Well, how'd you think of that?" And he's like, "I just did." It was a high school band that he worked with, and he wanted to make. He had this beat in his head. He was like, this beat was just in his head that he wanted to do. So he got this high school band together, and he was working in the basement. I can't remember which one it was now, and he just started telling him this beat. Now, the one thing my dad couldn't do, he could not read music. He couldn't read music at all. He couldn't play the instruments, but he could hear the music. He could sound it out. He could sing it out, and then you would play it. And that's how he always did it. And
Gotcha.
so he kept working with this band to do this beat. And he always said the drummer was the hardest one he had to work with. He said he worked day and night with this drummer to get that snare and that drum beat down until it was perfect. And then once it was perfect, that's when he recorded the song. And that's how the Honey Drippers came about, was him
Wow.
working with this high
Wow.
school band.
Yeah. Wow. And he-
Hmm.
and so he wrote and produced "Impeach the President."
Yep,
And
wrote,
in the
produced, and composed it.
yeah, in the
Mm.
middle of Watergate.
Yep.
Yep.
Yep,
Exactly.
and that's why he said he wanted to write it, and he said he was looking at everything that was going on, and it wasn't right. Something had to be done, and he was like, he thought of the song, and the way he thought of it was, music makes people think. He was
Yeah.
like, music opens up your mind, and if it's a beat, a word, something like that, to get people thinking, that's how he came up with Impeach the President. So he was like, through the music, he could get people to start thinking.
Mm.
Um. So it ended up becoming, you know, this a break beat for the hip hop generation. How did your dad feel about that?
He was actually really shocked, because at
Oh.
first he didn't know. He didn't realize how big it had become,
Mm.
until later on. I think I was actually in college, and he heard Janet Jackson. Yeah, what was it? Not real. No, that's Mary J. Blige. Real Love is Mary J. Blige.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of the song with Janet that had it. I know I was in college at the time when Janet's song came out, and I can't think of the name right now. But he heard the song with Janet Jackson, and he called me, and he was like, "Do you know this song?" And I'm like, "Yeah, that's Janet." And he was like, "That's my beat." Now, at that time, I didn't even know that that was my father's beat.
Ah.
I had heard this beat a million times, but I
Wow.
had never known that that was his beat. And I was like, "What are you talking about?" And then he played the song. I had not heard Impeach the President, but I didn't realize it was him. And that's
Mm.
what, when I tell you, I did not, my father just kept that Roy C out, and it
Yeah.
was just daddy in, that I didn't even know about Impeach the President until I was in college. And it was like, oh, Daddy, why didn't you say something earlier? Like, what are you talking about? Like, I could have been told you all of this. Like, you got to tell me some of these things here. And when he found out, and I was like, Dad, do you know who's used this song? And I started running it down to him. I'm like, you got Nas, like, I Can. I was like, and I started sending him stuff like, you got I Can. You got Molly Marr. You got this. I'm like, oh, Tupac. You got LL. I'm like, you realize, like, the man over here that I've been like wanting to marry all my life has used your beat. So, like, so like, when he finally realized it, he was like, wow. And he was not shocked as in like, wow, he would do this. He was shocked as in like, oh my God, this people actually, this made it. Like, this
Hmm.
really, spoke to people. And he was proud of it. He was
Wow.
very
Wow.
proud of it, that it was able to break through
Yeah.
just that realm of being an outcast song, because it was outcast then. It was talking against the president, it was talking against the
Yeah.
country. They didn't want to play it, but then somewhere it broke through to mainstream and the undercover world of hip hop, to make it out there. And he was just amazed by it.
Yeah.
Wow.
I
So
mean,
what I said to Sabrina before we even got on here, I said Solbuck managed, when I told him who was coming on the show and who he had to do a mixtape for, and he said, "Oh, I got this." an hour long of
everybody that used the
everywhere you
break.
could find Impeach the President.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Yep. Yeah, well, that's the thing. So me growing up listening to rap music and then kind of becoming obsessed with it and then trying to find source material, that's how I found a lot of songs that I normally wouldn't find. That's how I found Impeach the President. That's how I found your dad's song. You know, it was because I'm like, what is that drum break? Where is that from? You know, and then compilations would have it because it had been sampled or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because other than that, I don't know if I would have ever found it. It was such kind of a rare 45, you know?
Right. It was extremely rare.
Yeah. So, so you had already heard it how many times before you knew it was your dad's song?
I had heard it, oh my God, I would say at least like 100 times before I realized that it was him. And I'm like, Dad, you should have, like, why are you telling me like this was you? Like, these are one of the things you have to tell me about.
Oh man.
Yeah, I was like, wow. So, I mean, because you hear it, I heard it in so much stuff before then that now I'm like, wow. And then hearing it after that, it was amazing to finally find out that it was him.
What he didn't know.
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
Did he ever get to meet in person any of the people that use his records?
He didn't.
No.
At least not any of the big names like LL, Janet, none of the he never got to meet any of those in person.
Right.
Have you gotten to talk to any of the artists that have sampled it? Oh, okay.
Nope. I think the latest one, I remember Jasmine Sullivan had sampled it. And then what's the other one? My House. Who did that one? Welcome to My House. I can't and I can't think of his name right now. But he sampled that one, really, really blew up. And I think my father actually got an award for that. Yeah, he got an award for that as being one of the writers on that song because of his beat being used.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow.
I want to say that's Pitbull.
Yes, there you go, Pitbull.
There you go. Jennifer knew.
Yep. I was trying to think of it, and I was looking. I was like, My House. I was like, who did that song? Yep, Pitbull. No, Flow Rider. No, it was Flow Rider.
Oh, there you go. So your dad's writing credits have expanded exponentially because of that breakbeat.
Yes.
Wow. Yeah, Antoine said the first to me was MC Shan the Bridge. I think so. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And see, that's amazing. See, not knowing that she said it was kids from Queens. So obviously, with Marley being in Queens, they had it had early access or easy access to it. That's a piece I didn't know to the puzzle. So that's amazing.
It was Shan, but Marley was the first. Yeah.
Yeah.
Marley was the first to pull it out from somewhere and use it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Wow. Yes. Ultra, go ahead. I lost track of my questions here. Go ahead.
No, that I was just going back to that. That just so you said it was school kids in Queens. So that's just the whole, because that's the first time I heard it, the bridge. And then you would see we've had Breakbeat Lou on, but they would have those compilations with all the different breakbeats on them. So like you were saying, Doc, it was hard to come across. If you had those octopus breaks and all those break records early in the day, that was it. That was how you got them.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
So are you guys still doing like of his catalog? Are you still repressing things now?
Yeah. Not as much because Now, of course, with my dad not being here, we're not going to the shows. Most of his stuff was
Right.
sold when we were, on tour with the shows. Because once I got out of college, then when he was, in Virginia area or New Jersey, anywhere close, then I would always go to the show. I would meet him at the show or something like that. And then my mother would always travel with him. And then they would sell the CDs and stuff at the shows.
Okay.
So now that we haven't been to a show since he passed, and of course, then that time it was COVID. But
Oh, yeah.
since then, I've thought about going to the shows, but I still haven't worked myself up to actually go to one of the shows because they've always said, "Hey, you can definitely come and you can set up. We would love to have, his music out here and you can sell it." And I tried to go one this year and I was just like, I couldn't go. I still couldn't work
Mm,
myself up to actually go to it. But
Yeah.
I think
right.
I'm gonna, start doing that again. His music now, I sell it on eBay. So I have my own little shop on eBay. So I sell, all his CDs just straight through eBay now.
Okay.
Just to, keep it out there because a lot of his fans they still want the CDs.
Yeah.
Especially the other crowd. Like I can't get my mother to learn how to use freaking Apple Music. Like get out of here. So
um,
hit me up for CDs. I'm like, all right, here you go.
see, there goes my camera again. What the hell, man? I don't know what's going on. Um, was your dad touring like up until the end?
Yeah. His last show was February of 2020, and that's right
Oh
before
wow.
the world shut down.
Mm,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Yep, and then everything shut down with COVID. And then in September is when he passed away.
Wow.
Mm.
Yeah,
That's
but shoot, if he was still here, he would still be torn.
right.
He would still be torn. And our son was born. My husband, he was son was born in 2017, and never forget. I called my mom and dad and told them, "Hey, I'm in labor." And I went in labor a week late. So I was supposed to actually be induced on that Tuesday. Well, my son finally decided that his little big head was going to come out on Monday. He's like, all right, well, I'm just going to come out now. I'm not going to let you wait till Tuesday. Call my parents. Now they live in South Carolina. We in Virginia. Hey, going into labor. My father jumped in that Cadillac, and from South Carolina to Virginia is 6.5 hours. Six hours, depending on how you drive.
Yeah.
My father was here in 5.5. Him and my mother. Boom, that Cadillac was up 95 and flying through Emporia. Now, if anybody's from Virginia, you know the one place you don't speed is Emporia because you're liable to always get pulled over. Well, my daddy got pulled over. And he's literally just waiting there for the ticket. He's like, I wish he just hurry up. My mother was like, whole time, just hurry up. Trying to make it to this birth. And he just took the ticket and still kept on speeding. He was like, but he was here. They were both here. And then after my son was born, they stayed up here like a week, and then they went back, but then they came up almost every other week. They were driving back
Wow.
and forth from South
Wow.
Carolina to Virginia just to, check on us, check on my son, do this. And then at some point, my father forgot that I existed because then he would call and he would be like, let me talk to the baby. I'm like, hello, this is your daughter, remember? Yeah, it was so I was like, yeah, yeah, you just forgot about me, your daughter over here. Thanks.
Was jeez, I know. I don't know what's going on. I'm gonna have to figure
First
this
day with the
out.
new
But
camera.
it's not even the new camera. It's just a new connection.
Yeah.
When was the last recordings that your dad did? New recordings.
The last one, because he was going to do an album after COVID, but he never had to do it.
Oh,
The last, yeah, because he had decided he was going to do one. He was like, I'm going to do another one. He actually wanted to do an Impeach the President too.
Mm.
Is what he said he wanted to do for the new administration. He wanted to do
yeah.
an Impeach the President too. And I'm pretty sure by now, he would have definitely had one out at this point.
Yeah. That's kind of what I was. That's kind of what I was getting at. I was like, did he
Yeah.
ever? Okay.
He never
So,
he never got to do that one, but he would be ready to do that one immediately right now.
yeah.
Um The last one he did was let me pull my catalog. See exactly what that album was that he did. Um, I want to say wasn't that one. Do.
Oh, there was a college Canadian radio show did a tribute show. Wow.
Oh wow, that's
Yeah, right.
awesome.
Yeah,
That is awesome.
that's very cool.
That is awesome. Yeah, his last one was Give Me a Chance. Um yeah, Give Me a Chance. That was in 2014 was the last one that he
Okay.
did. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. But he was still doing shows. That's fantastic.
Oh yeah. He loved my father said he said if you're doing something that you love, you never work a day in your life.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep. So
And
true.
he loved it. So he always had these little tape recorders all around the house because he would think of something and start singing. And so he would pick up the tape recorder and he would just start singing. So we were like cleaning out the office and getting all this stuff, found like 50 something odd tape recorders. And I was like, Eddie,
Wow.
you got like a million tape recorders around here. And just it would just be tape recorders with him. And he would out I started playing some and he would just be in the car driving and you notice he just picked up a tape recorder and as he start singing out a beat or something like that because it just popped in his head. So he started
Yeah.
singing it or something. And then when he figured out that his iPhone could actually do voice record and voice notes, I found voice notes on there of him like recording stuff because what he was doing at first was calling his voicemail and leaving it
Oh,
on the
leaving some
voicemail.
messages.
Yeah, because he didn't know that the phone could do voice
Right.
notes. And then he
Right.
finally figured it out. I was like, you were leaving voicemails. It's like, oh, that's so cute.
Oh man. That's
Technology.
Yeah.
I have to say, at least you have voice recordings of your dad singing. I have a voice recording of my dad going, I don't know if this is working or not.
Yes.
That's very appropriate, Jennifer.
Hey, you get it, you know.
I know,
something I'll
right?
never throw away, but at least she's got her dad singing. I've got
Yeah.
my dad going, is this thing on?
Yep. Sabrina, do you have because I'm guessing a lot of the early stuff, do you have the tapes for those or have they been archived?
For
Like
Are
any
you
of the
talking-
early music he had done.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yep, still have. Yeah, we still have like the tapes, all of his early music. Not all of them, but most of them. Yeah, we still have the early music. He kept all of those.
Okay, so he was pretty good about archiving all that stuff.
Mhm.
Yeah. That's
Yeah, he was very good at that one.
okay. It's kind of amazing. Sometimes we talk to artists and we're like, oh yeah, and he's like, oh, I don't. They're like, I don't know where that is. I have no idea. And it's like, really?
Like what? Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of
He
crazy.
made sure of that. Mhm.
Yeah, so that's cool. That's cool that that he kept all that stuff.
Yes.
Can you talk about the record label? Was it Alaga? How do you pronounce it? Is Alaga
Alaga.
or
Alaga?
okay?
Mhm.
Yeah, just when you because I think of when the 45 for like Impeach the President, and just the red and the yellow and the just it's an iconic look. Can you just talk about like some of the people that were on the label, or what he told you about any of that creation of that music?
So Alaga, he started when of course we were I can't say we because I don't think I was even born yet when Alaga came about. But they were living in him and my mom, they were living in New York. And I asked him, I was like, how did you come up with the name Alaga? Most people thought it was because he saw something. It was I think a cert back then named Alaga or something like that. And they thought it came from the cert. He was like, no. He said, that's not how I came up with the name. I said, well, how you came? I said, Alaga is just like random. Like, how did you come up with the name Alaga? He said, well, where am I originally from? I was like, "You from Georgia?" He said, "Where's your mother from?" "Alabama." He said, "All right, Alaga." I was
Ah,
like, I said,
Wow.
"Oh, you were so corny." Like, and that's
ah,
he came up with the name because my mother's from Alabama, he's from Georgia, so he put Alabama, Georgia, Alaga, and that's how he came up with
wow.
Alaga. I was like, that is so cute and corny, and I love it. But that's how he did it. But yeah, and then he did Impeach the President on there. I'm not sure of
Mhm,
all of the artists that he had on Alaga. Um, but I know with that one it was pretty much, him, of course, with that the Impeach the President, Roy C B side.
Right.
I'm
right.
not sure the other artists that he had on that one, because once we left New York, he left he didn't do anything else on Alaga. He changed it to Three Gem Records. So
Mm,
his last label, the label that has carried him on since, all his music now has been on Three Gems Records. So that
mhm.
was the new label that he came out with.
There
Mhm.
Okay.
was, yeah. Aside from his stuff, there weren't many. The only other thing, the Mark IV. Why did you fall
Oh,
in love with me?
yeah, yeah, the Mark IV. So he's still. Well, I actually still have some of their albums too
Oh,
that we still sell with the Mark IV. So I believe it might have just been the Mark IV and him. And then once he generated Alaga, then it went into Three Gem Records.
okay.
Mm.
And then
Hmm.
then there was a Michael Legrand and the band that played all night, which is a great name.
Michael Legrand, I don't know about that one. Michael Legrand,
Yeah.
Abandoned. I'm about to
Hustle,
find that
hustle,
one.
hustle on down from 1975.
Ah, there was one song that he did, and I think that was in the '70s. Um, Twisted Pneumonia.
Mhm.
I think it
Wow.
was called Twisted Pneumonia. Um, and he actually was out. It was real big in England. And it's on YouTube. It's kind of hard to find it now, but there's actually a recording that he went out there and he did it. He did it, on live and everything. Twisted Pneumonia. It was kind of like the England version of 106 in Park, which was hilarious, by the way. And he went out there and did it, and it's like 1970 something. And he showed it to me one day, and he's like, Booger, look at this. And I look, and I was like, Daddy, is that you? He's like, yeah, that's me. And it's so funny because he looks so young and he had hair. And I was like, Daddy, you have hair. But it was a really cool song to see him, 1970 something.
Yeah.
And, I just see, my young dad before I was born, and I took his hair. And I said,
Yeah.
"Oh," I said, "So this is you before me, this is you after me. Now you have no hair. I get it."
Yeah.
Wow.
Antoine said he did some stuff with Mercury Records in the 70s.
He did. Yeah, he was on Mercury for a while. Sex and Soul, Roy C. Sex and Soul, Sex and Soul, more Sex and Soul, and there's another. I think there's like another two that's on Mercury,
Mhm.
that he did on Mercury. He left Mercury in the '70s, and then that's when he started Alaga. Um, and he said, he thought at first that he wanted to be on Mercury, but what he didn't want to do, when they started telling him he could not sing about this, he couldn't sing about race issues,
Ah,
Mm,
he couldn't talk about activism, he couldn't, do what he wanted to do. He was like, all right, well, I'm out. He said, you're not
wow.
going to tell me what I can and cannot do. He said,
Yeah.
I'm going to
right.
make my music the way I want to make it. I'm not going to make your music. And then when it came down to the money, he is like, they now control it. I don't control it. They want to do it this way. He was like, nah. He said, that's why. So when people always say, oh, he said, nah. He said, I left Mercury because I was going to control my music. I
Yeah.
want to make it my way, talk about what I want to talk about, sing how I want to sing, and I'm not going to let them control my pay. So
Yeah.
that's when he decided was going to do his own producing. He was going to do his own record label and his own distribution. So that way nobody handled his money but him.
Wow.
The Janet Jackson
Wow.
record, Sabrina.
You said it,
That's the
Janet.
way love goes.
That's the way love goes.
Oh
Yep.
yeah,
That's the way love goes.
That's right.
Yep. That's the way love goes.
Yep. Yeah.
I knew. I was like, it's Janet. I said, I know it's Janet. I just could
I'm
not think
looking
of
at
the name. Yep.
this list, and it's obnoxious.
Oh yeah.
Long. Yes.
It's crazy.
52 pages worth.
It's
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
it's like Impeach the President and Funky Drummer. Like those are the
Yeah,
are like
They
the
go
two.
hand-
Funky-
they always
Funky
battle
Drummer.
each other.
Impeach
Yeah.
the president, and then you have what well, Skull Snaps,
Skull Snaps, Amen Break, but
Amen Break.
those
But yeah,
two
the
like-
the first two big
Yeah.
ones, Impeach the President and Funky Drummer. Yeah,
mhm.
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very distinct sounds, and the rhythm is dope and everything else. You know,
Mhm.
wow,
It is.
that's very cool. Yeah, and so
Wu-Tang,
Sabrina,
Wu-Tang as well.
Yeah,
If
oh,
you guys,
yeah,
if
sure.
you guys watch the Hulu special, that Hulu had out, they
Yeah.
actually depicted my father and the Honey Drippers in there, and how Wu-Tang came up with some listen to that music, and they took the beat and they used my dad's beat in there. So it's amazing. Like to
Yeah.
just hear it. And I think one of
Yeah.
them said it wasn't Wu-Tang, but somebody said if you can't rap over Honey Drippers, then you just don't need to rap at all.
right?
Oh,
So true, so true.
didn't.
It was either
This
Sham or somebody said if you can't rap over to impeach the president, you don't need to rap at all.
Yeah.
There's a Jizza line that reference. Oh, what does he
Oh
say?
yeah. There is.
He got stuck off the snare or the kick from Impeach the President. He has like a dope
Yes.
line that he says something about the Jizza. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
Yep, that's right.
Mm.
Sabrina, anything coming up with your dad's catalog, or anything you guys are working on?
Well, it is what's with the catalog, but definitely making sure that my father is recognized the way that he should be.
Yeah.
And making sure that he is paid his dues.
Yeah.
The way that he should be paid.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yep.
Yes.
You know what I was just thinking? I don't know if you talked to them or if they reached out, but have you? Has anybody been in contact or you talked to the hip hop museum that they're creating in the Bronx?
Oh yeah.
Oh yes.
Okay.
Sorry, hold on. AirPod fell out. There we go. Only thing about AirPods, they're great until they just slip right out your ear.
Yeah.
But- yes. Thanks for reminding me. I'm still trying to get over this sickness here, so my brain is on left field. But Van Silk, so doing the hip hop museum. So they're looking at honoring my father. In that coming up in September. So that is going to be amazing.
Nice.
So yes, I've talked to Van Silk with that. Also talked to Geechee Dan about that as well. So yeah, they have been instrumental in trying to definitely honor my father in that in the hip hop museum. So really
Excellent.
appreciate them for that.
That's fantastic.
Excellent. Yeah,
Yep. Respect the architects,
Yes.
like they say.
absolutely.
By all
Yes.
means. Okay. Well, Sabrina, I know. Thank you for joining us tonight. I know you're a bit under the weather. We appreciate your time, and thank you for telling
Thank
us the
you.
great stories. So
Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, I appreciate you guys. My son was running in and out because he just nosy over here.
oh, that's
So if you saw me going like this is like getting my 8-year-old like I'm like, move, sir. He just nosy. He want to see everything that's going on. Like, what are you doing, ma?
It's all good. I'm surprised Rocco, my son, didn't come down. And well, of course, I can't keep the camera on, so
Rocco just turned the camera off.
probably. Yeah. He's probably like messing around with it somehow. But
He just sneaks away. He just sneaks away from my husband. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, get him. And he's just like, thought he was in the living room. No, he has beeline this way. So
you said he was born when?
he was born March 20th
In what year?
in 2017.
Oh yeah. So
Hmm.
yep. But Rocco was
Mhm.
born May 18th in 2017, so we got kids the same age. So there you go.
Oh yeah, yeah, they're right there. And the funny thing is, even though my father passed in 2020, he still remembers my father. Like, and
Oh
he
wow.
Mm.
loves his grandpa because my parents, especially my dad, he was always talking to him. I mean, from the day he was born, like always talking to him. And as he got older and older, he always tell him, he's like, you make sure you save your money. You save money. You got to invest. You got to do this. You can't spend it on candy and everything else. And now my son, he always runs around. I'll say if he wants something, I said, so what grandpa tell you? Grandpa said to save money. I'm like, yes. So we're gonna take this part, we're gonna do this, but the rest we're gonna save. And he knows his grandpa's music. So just like
Oh, that's
grandpa,
great.
mommy has to filter out the things you can't hear rock me yet, sir.
Yeah,
So
right.
but you can listen to Down to Paradise, Let's Go Down to Paradise. You can listen to other stuff, and he knows grandpa's music. He knows everything. So he hears a song that's grandpa, he'd be like, that's not grandpa, that's grandpa. I'm like, yes, that's grandpa. So he knows it.
Yeah, that's great. That's fantastic. All right, thank you, Sabrina. Appreciate you
You're
coming through
welcome.
tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you guys.
All right, take care.
Bye.
Yeah, that was cool, man.
Yes.
We don't often get that side of the story,
Just I love, but to get that side of it, like you said, to hear that history and the way that she's, like the way that she's curating and everything with her father's legacy, that's great to see. It doesn't always happen. So to see, how she's really putting everything together, that's great.
Yep. Fantastic stuff. That's good. That's good.
I got some hip hop mail.
Yes.
When you're ready.
Yes, you did. So you started over to this guy archive channels. Yeah, no, yeah. Thank you, Antoine. All right, hip hop mail. Oh, and although Flatline's taking a couple weeks off, salute to him. He also has a new Hip Hop Gods episode tonight on Mixcloud, so go check that out. Playing all the hits.
And Phil Most Chill was in the #1 spot. So
he was. Phil Most Chill was in the #1 spot.
Was in the #1 spot.
Yeah.
And we need to send a big, huge happy birthday out to anybody?
Dun, 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 dun.
Deranged and Damaged from Yag Fu Front.
Oh, there you go.
Birthday. Happy birthday, Dean. Is that today?
Yesterday.
Oh.
Okay. I meant to text him. I did. So happy birthday, D. I will text him and say happy birthday again. So, yep. Hip hop mail. What do you got, Ultramag?
It's from alum of the show and from the label who's a sponsor. We have the new Mr. Len.
Nice.
I think this is a 10-inch.
Yes.
Life in Dakota also got the promo. Got the test pressing. Test pressing.
Nice.
But actually I did there's a trilogy of videos for this, and I did the first two, so we're just waiting for when the album Raul's Tunes comes out, and then I'll drop the third part of it. But
okay, dope.
There's a couple of videos I've done for Life in Dakota project. Thanks to Mr. Len pulling me into that. If you go to Mr. Len's page, he talks about a lot of the records, people that have helped him, everything. It's real. He's got this skateboard too. This Company Flow skateboard. Like he's got some dope stuff.
That.
So
yeah.
Go over to Mr. Len's page and got some slaps, got some stickers.
Nice.
From our man. There you go. Right on time.
Yeah, exactly. Perfect time. Yep.
Yeah, so that's what I got.
Antoine says, in the future, I'd be surprised, like under heralded rap. Okay, like Too Nice, Two Could Play the Game. Hell yes, love that joint.
Who's
Bobcat,
making
K9
love
Posse,
to
right?
your old lady?
Yeah, that's the joint.
I love that song.
I do too. That joint is dope. Bobcat, hell yeah, we're trying to get, and K9 Posse, yo man, ain't nothing to it but to do it. Oh, they can dance, clap their hands to it.
Problem with Bobcat is he's on the witness protection program.
We're trying to get Bobcat. But yes, shout out to Too Nice and K9 Posse, man. I love Ain't Nothing to It. That's one of my favorite joints. Love that record. So yes. So yes, Antoine, go check out the new Mr. Len album. What were you saying?
Oh, no, it made me think of you were trying to get people on. I was like, Def Jeff just started following me, and I said something to him about coming on or something. So hopefully, I don't know. I would love to have Def Jeff on.
that would be dope too. Def Jeff,
Dope.
Black to the Future remix.
Oh man,
Come on.
I remember when Give It Here came out, and I liked the video. Like I just thought the video was dope.
Yeah.
And then they had the Soul Brothers, the dancers. Like, oh, that was that was dope.
Yeah.
Good times. Good times with hip hop.
Yes, indeed, most definitely. So yeah, that's our show tonight. Hope everybody dug it. Little history lessons, stories. Yeah, and hopefully, so there was no Body Hat Weekly last week, due to technical issues. So hopefully that will be resolved for this week, and the guys will be back. Yes, sir.
What album are they doing?
Oh shit!
Are they doing the same album they were supposed to do last week? All right.
I think so. Yes.
What was the album last week? What was the?
It was supposed to be. Oh, it was supposed to be. Damn it.
Because the week before was KMD, right?
Yes, it was supposed to be Quest the Mad Lad.
Oh.
Quest the Mad Lad.
I met my baby at VIM. VIM. Oh, are you kidding? You know what's so funny? There's tapes that I know people stole from me.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of them. Somebody stole my Quest the Mad Lab tape.
That's fucked up.
It was on I think Deaf American. I think he was signing.
He was.
I can remember all this stuff. Like just
Yep. He was signed to Deaf American. That is correct.
They stole my Lakim Shabazz tape. I know all the tapes that people stole from.
That's
I know all the tapes.
Damn. Nobody should be stealing tapes. That's whack.
No.
Nobody should be stealing anything, but especially not your tapes.
Especially not tapes.
Yeah. So hopefully tech issues resolved. Body Hat Weekly tomorrow night. Dave Mocha only doing the Quest the Mad Lad record. I'm guessing that they'll do it since they didn't get to do it last week. And then Rap Station this weekend, Angel Don't Stop radio show. Yep. And then Soul Butt will be back on Sunday with the mixtape right here on Channel Zero, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And he'll be spinning the music of our next week's guest, who is...
Ready? Fat Boy. I ain't gonna say shit else. Cool Rock Ski.
That's right. Cool Rock Ski.
That was perfect. That was perfect.
That was perfect. Cool Rock Ski in the house next week, joining us here.
Yes. My God.
I
that's huge. That's huge. That's huge.
I'm just gonna here and let you talk. You know.
Oh man.
Yeah. I know you got the questions.
Oh.
Because you know I don't.
Oh. You're not going to go there, Jennifer?
I got nothing.
You're not going to tell the story again.
Are you going to be
a damn thing? Maybe and there's only one other group that's still around that could attest to that fact. But got a bone to pick.
It's gonna be a fun one next Tuesday. So
yeah. Oh, it's gonna be great. It's gonna be great.
Yeah. So word up. I'll be in the building. Fat boy. Yeah, Fat Boy's fan at the age of 5. I know, right?
He said age of what?
He was 5.
Oh, man, I'm old.
Yo, you and me both.
I'm old.
What am I? Damn near dead.
Yeah,
you're still kicking, homie. You're still kicking.
I gotta watch Disorderlies this week then.
There you go. Taking it back. I'm gonna listen to Crushing. My brother had Crushing on tape.
My nuts.
Oh man. All right. So join us next week. Cool Rockski in the house. And please like and subscribe if you dig what we got at Channel Zero. Tell a friend. Follow us on Instagram. And and we'll see everybody next week for another episode of It's C-Doc again. And hopefully my camera won't keep shutting off. Or not. Who knows? Shout out to Thick Crates. Peace, y'all.